Hello, my fellow chatterers, you magical people, you. I think this video is going to be the hardest ones I've ever done because I have been waiting for a really long time to do the read, rewrite and burn book tag because I saw it and I thought, I want to do that. That looks so much fun. And I got so excited. We were on a very long journey. So before we left, I took photos of all my shelves and like the behind shelves. And then I sat in the journey in the car and like counted all of them and then span the wheel and selected 15 books to play this tag with. And that was like at least 3 months ago, 4 months ago, possibly now. It was summertime and I still haven't done it, but I finally found a time to film this tag. So I'm so excited. And I realised I just got so excited I didn't do my usual introduction. But hi, I'm Chatty. If you've not come to my channel before, welcome. If you're a new person, no, we've done the new people. If you're an old person coming back, you know the drill. For new people, I have a teeny tiny teacup. And this is because I do a little gimmick. It's my one shot. I don't do editing due to ancient decrepit laptop and also the freedom of not having to edit. It's so exciting. But we just love chaos here. So cheers. We're still on take one. I haven't had to redo so far. And I think we're just going to go for it now. Like I'm not going to redo this. We're rolling. We are rolling. Let's go. So I have a big tag of tea here and I have the numbers that I originally pulled out when I was spinning. And I have a little notebook where I've written down which books are which and then I'm surrounded by books. So let's do the first one. Okay, so the first one is number 61. It's so faint, it's in pencil. Oh, you can see it a little bit. There we go. Number 61. Number 61 is The House with Chicken Legs. Okay, that's here. So pretty much all the books I keep is because I love them and want to reread them. When I did this, I hadn't done like a purge of my shelves. So there were still some that were nice that I then felt I no longer needed anymore, but they're very few and far between, so this is going to be really hard and this is one of my favorites, so let's see what we're throwing it into the mix with. Okay, so the next one is what is it 82 and 82 is Memoirs of a Geisha. That is one of the ones I've purged. That has left the building. It is no longer in this home. It is off to a new home where some other reader will have a wonderful time with it. Okay, so the final one. The final one is number 6. You see that? Number 6. Number 6. Dropping the notebook. Okay, number 6. I'm just... Wrath. Okay. Where are you, Wrath? Wrath is here. Okay, Wrath. Okay. So, sacrilege for some people. I think you can guess. Binner's Memoirs of a Geisha have left this house. I'm burning it. Bye Memoirs. I'm sorry. I enjoyed you at the time, but there are other books I much prefer to you. And I think there was some like potential problematic someone else's story moments within there, possibly. Anyway, I reread it and then I no longer need to reread it. So it's gone. So we're burning Memoirs. Now, these are two books that I really, really love. Wrath is an adult epic fantasy by John Gwynne, and The House with Chicken Legs is a middle grade fantasy by Sophie Anderson. I think I know what I need to do just because one slightly has the edge for me, just so slightly. And it's in the like overall tightness of the story. So rereading The House with Chicken Legs, because I just think the storytelling in this is just so beautifully done. You know, it's one of those books that I have to do this with. It's just done. I don't know what that gesture means, but I do. That gesture basically means that it's just the way the story starts, continues and finishes is just so beautifully done. It just feels that everything that needed to be told was told. You went on an emotional journey with the character. You had wonderful fantasy moments. There was wonderful atmosphere, and the way the resolution happened kind of tied everything all together. It just worked so well. The writing is beautiful, the characters I have emotional connection to. It was a really, really gorgeous story. Saying that, this still hurts because I love the series The Faithful and The Fallen, and I think, you know, I am judging this just on Wrath, and I do think Malice was a brilliant setup. Valor, Ruin, and Wrath, I love all of those so much. And I do think like Ruin and Wrath, again, like slightly have even, I still love Valor, but I think in terms of the storytelling, because you're getting all the payoff and things, I love those more. And Wrath, pardon me, it does such a good job of ending out the series and pulling it all together. It was so strong. There was so much payoff that happened in here. I absolutely adored it. But it's got to compete with The House in Chicken Legs, where the storytelling was just, I mean, this was so epic. There's a lot of characters to deal with. There's a lot of action to deal with. There's a lot of plot resolutions. There's a huge world going on. So it's harder to make it tighter and succinct. So I feel there could be room for rewriting bits. So that is my reasons behind this one. Okay, so that's the first one done. I feel I've been eased in gently. It wasn't as traumatic as I thought it would be. Both these books are amazing. I absolutely love them. If you love adult epic fantasy, if you love middle grade fantasy, I highly recommend both. And we're going to move on. Well, there's game one. So we've got 4 more games to do. Let's see what we get. Okay, I have number 7. Number 7 is Equal Rites, which is here. So we have one of the early Pratchett Discworld books, Equal Rites, where we are introduced to Granny Weatherwax, the legend, the piece of fantasy human character portrayal genius. But I'll come on to that soon. Okay, so Equal Rites is the first one. Make sure I don't re-put them back in the tea. Okay, the next one is number 40. Number 40, which is... number 40 is on this page. Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters. So we have a middle grade fantasy and we have an adult fantasy. What's the third one going to be? I just don't know. I have no idea what it's going to be. I'm grabbing this one. I'm grabbing this one. This one is 107. 107 is Sweet Bean Paste. Okay. Oh, now this is where it gets really hard. So all of these books, I love them all. So Sweet Bean Paste, absolute surprise to me. I got this in a Shelterbox book club. It's a contemporary story. There's a lot of human character moments in here, which I loved. The writing is beautiful. The character connections are beautiful. It deals with like a social issue that I wasn't expecting. There's disability representation in here. It's gorgeous. I love Pratchett. I love Discworld. Absolutely has my heart. This was my first Pratchett I picked up ever. So this has a special place for me. But this very much feels like, I think Pratchett's early works, he's still working out what he wants to do with Discworld. And it's almost like that's his early like plotting and draft of what Discworld then becomes later on. So his writing style I enjoy, but I don't enjoy it as much as I do the later ones. So you can see the improvement there. And Granny Weatherwax in particular, like it's almost like this is the early draft of her. She evolves to become even more incredible. Like some people say it still takes a bit more, but absolutely the next book, Weird Sisters, I feel we have classic Weatherwax. This is like early Weatherwax, and we have classic amazing Weatherwax from Weird Sisters onwards. Even in my head, as I picture, like when I'm reading, I am like giving myself a little show in my head, like I can visualize everything that's happening. And weirdly, Granny Weatherwax in all the other books very much looks like the way Paul Kidby draws her in his fabulous Discworld art. Equal Rites, she's shorter. She stoops. And like, she's got a more prominent chin and nose. And I don't know why, because I've read all those and I did the reread and then I reread her. Like, she still looks equal rights. I can't unimagine her. She still looks different to the weatherworks of other books. It's bizarre. I love my brain sometimes. Sometimes I don't, but other times I find it fascinating. So you can sense a tiny bit where I'm at the heading. Percy Jackson in the Sea of Monsters. I mean, this series is just like, I feel like it will go into, because of like how many kids Rick Riordan got reading, how much he kind of enthused people. I mean, you can say what you like about the writing style, you can say what you like about all the Greek mythology stuff, but I think making people, younger audiences, like appreciate the enjoyment of mythology and all the stories and things that happened in there, I think is phenomenal. And all of the work he's kind of done since at highlighting other cultures to tell their stories, I think is brilliant. And also the LGBT representation he's put in his later books as well. And Percy is such a beloved character, and Annabeth and Grover, and in here you get to meet one of my favourite characters, Tyson. And I had such a fun time reading this. I had such a fun time rereading this when I reread it. But when I compare it to other books, like, it doesn't always hit the same spot. It's like I love it and it's a nostalgia, and when I'm reading it, I'm aware it's not necessarily aimed at me. And I absolutely cannot wait to read the Percy Jackson series with my Mad March hair. I was showing him them the other day, and I was like, just read that first page and see what you think about it. So this one is really hard. It's so hard. I don't see now. I love this. I really love this. But the emotional connection I have to these is more. But if I'm trying to be objective, like, the kind of work of art that Sweet Bean Paste is, again, it's that, like, it's the succinct story, and it's the beauty of it, and the heartfelt emotions. This kind of has to be the reread, because you can't burn art. You just can't. And I can't rewrite it because it was done so well. So this has to be the reread, but that means that one of these is going to be burnt. And I feel both of these could definitely happily fit into rewrites. Like, I love them from an emotional connection. You know, they're like your slightly scruffy old teddy bear that you've had all your life and you absolutely love it, but the eye's fallen off and the arm's looking a bit, you know, it's not as stuffed as it used to be. And they're, you know, probably a little bit threadbare. But you never get rid of that teddy bear, no matter how lacking it resembles a teddy bear anymore. You can still never get rid of it because it's been with you all your life. And that's how I feel about these books. Don't make me do it. What do I do? What do I do? I don't know. I can't. Because, like, how do you rewrite this Percy Jackson story? I mean, I kind of feel you can rewrite. I mean, I'd love Terry Pratchett to maybe in the place he finds himself now, he might be writing more books. He may even look back at his old books and go, I'm going to tweak them. I mean, maybe he could do that. It's a possibility. Sea of Monsters, how would it look rewritten? Are there bits I would change? It's very Percy Jackson. But burning either just feels like sacrilege. Oh, I'm just gonna have to do it. I think I kind of know, but it hurts me. It hurts me. Sorry. I'm so sorry. We're burning Sea of Monsters. I'm so sorry. But I can't burn this one. I can't burn Sea of Monsters, but I can't burn this one. We're rewriting Equal Rights and we're burning Sea of Monsters. I mean, why would you do that ever? You just don't do it. This tag. I knew it was going to be painful. I hope this is entertaining for you all. This is why I'm doing it. Okay, I've pulled another tag. We're on to game number 3. Let's hope it's not as terrifying. 70. Book number 70. Book number 70. Felix Ever After is here. Here's Felix by the wonderful Case and Calendar. Here he is in all his glory. Look at him. Look at those edges. Look at the art. Look at the beauty. There he is. Please don't make me be mean to him. Number 31, I believe. 31. 31 is... Generally feel fear inside me here. This is ridiculous. I don't have a number 31. I do. I have number 31. It's already being mean to me. Why? Frostheart. Frostheart Escape from Aurora. I love this series. I love this series. Why are you putting these two together? The final one. Be something I can work with. I have no idea. Okay, what is... I think it's 54. What is 54? What are you going to do to me? 54. 54. Polar Bear Explorers Club. I love all of these books. No. There were 2 other titles in here that you could have been. Why? Why? This feels worse than the other one. This feels worse than the other one. I know which one I need to burn because the thought of burning the other 2 is all kinds of wrong. Like the thought of burning the one I'm going to burn is wrong. It's so wrong. But the other 2 just have something extra. And I don't know which one. I'd reread. These are all rereads. These are all rereads. These are all amazing, amazing books that everyone should read. I mean, if you love middle grade, especially if you love like polar fantasy middle grade and you want wintry reads, Frostheart, I mean, read the first one first, obviously, because that's insane. Frostheart, read Frostheart. Read the Polar Bears Explorers Club. They're so good. They're so good. And YA contemporary, this is phenomenal. This made me cry. Happy tears. And I really wasn't expecting it to. I have to burn the Polar Bear Explorers Club. I'm so sorry, Stella. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. This has got amazing found family in it. This has got fantastic dad representation in here. Stella is adopted and she lives with her dad and it's beautiful. Their relationship is amazing. The whimsicalness of this is so cute. It's funny. It's lovely. It's a wonderful book and shouldn't be burnt. But I can't burn these, so it has to be that one. Now what do I do? Because these are so good. So good. This is really painful. Really painful. So this is middle book in the Frostheart trilogy. And the Frostheart trilogy is just phenomenal storytelling. I mean, again, wonderful found family, wonderful icy atmosphere, magical whimsicalism, full of magical whimsy. Like the characters are adorable and I love them, and the storytelling is wonderful. Like the tensions that come out of here, like the emotional journey, the different journeys in here, it's so good. And like all the little bits that you're reading to find out are so good. And then Felix, I adopted him, and his story is so powerful and beautiful. I'm gonna slightly rewrite Felix just because of like, there's a slight excessive angst, toning down the angst slightly. But I know people who read YA love the angst, and that's fine, and that's lovely. And it really, it wasn't like, I'm someone who doesn't like angst. Like I love YA contemporary about social issues, but I don't like angst. But everything was relatable. It was so not relatable in like, you know, I'm not trans. I've never had that journey, but it meant relatable as in truthful for that character. Like it all felt so truthful that they would feel the way they feel, and it was so beautifully explained and done so that you could understand it as much as anyone is able to understand someone else's story. And that was so beautifully done. But you're just slightly dialing the angst down a level. But it's just the looking at the family, looking at you know, being aware of your financial situation compared to your peers, you know, trying to prove yourself to be your best, having to deal with transphobia, having to deal with relationships and that feeling of being worthy of being loved. And it's just such a good book, such a good book. But I think Frostheart has the edge in just, I love the tying it all together and the little pieces, and this like really pulls in from where the first book finished, and like everything we had from that setup, and then we get pushed further down the storyline, and then it layers everything up beautifully for the finale. So we are rereading Frostheart, Edge of Escape from Aurora, rewriting Felix Ever After, and burning the Polar Bear Explorers Club. This is so cruel. Right, okay. I'm not looking at the books that are there. Now, listen to me, tags. You have a range of options in here that this could work in my favour. Please stop causing me torture. I'm going to get a smaller one. It doesn't mean anything. Like, I don't know what's on each tag, but I'm just feeling I'm getting a smaller one. Right, this is 141. 141 is The Girl on the Train. Okay, thriller, adult thriller. We then have this one, which is so faint and hard to read. Oh, I can read it actually better in the camera with the light shining in it. 137. 137 is Legendborn. We then have this one, which is 107. How many? I've done 3. There seems to be an X. No, there are just 3 tags left. What tag did I just say? 107? Did I do that? 137. Okay, there's too many 7s here for me to cope with. 107. 107. I did 107. That was Sweet Bean Paste. What is going on? Okay. What have I missed? Did that one. Did I not put it back in? Hold on. 1, 2, 3. There's 3 tags left, so I must have pulled it. Let me deal with this situation. There was a tag that didn't go in the tea. I hadn't pulled out a 3rd tag. So we're just going to get another one. I know what it is. Could have been a game changer. Okay, so the tag I'm pulling out now is 85. So let's see what we get for 85. The Little Coffee Shop of Kabul. This one is easy. So, Little Coffee Shop of Kabul has left the building. It's gone. I don't need to read it again. I enjoyed it at the time. I don't need to read it again. It was an enjoyable story, but I just sort of feel that I want to read, for those type of stories, I want to read stories written in own voices. I mean, the author had been to Kabul and stayed in Afghanistan and been in Afghanistan, and the protagonist is a Western woman living in Afghanistan, and there are 2 other Western women in there, but there are also 2 Afghanistan women in there. And I just kind of feel that if I'm going to read, rather than reread that one, I want to read Afghanistan stories written by Afghanistan authors or authors of Afghanistan heritage. So that one I'm going to burn. That was easy. And the next one is easy as well because I really enjoyed The Girl on the Train. It was a thriller that completely took me by surprise. Like, I was not expecting what happened in here to happen. I really enjoyed the narrative voice and the journey we went on and all of the stuff that kind of surrounded that. It was a first experience with some of the themes, so it was really, really enjoyable. But I love Legendborn. Legendborn by Tracy Deonn is YA fantasy, and the stuff that was packed in this book was incredible. I loved all the Arthurian references in here. I loved the magic in here. I loved the characters in here. I loved, again, the really positive parent rep. I loved, there are 2 different types of magic. I loved how racism was explored. I loved the different representations we got in here. And the plot was really exciting, and I had a great time, and I can't wait to read Bloodmarked. So this is a no-brainer. We're rereading Legendborn. We're rewriting Girl on a Train. Not that I necessarily think it needs it, but I just, out of the 2, which one do I enjoy more? Legendborn. I love Legendborn. So we're rewriting this one, and we've burnt The Little Coffee Shop of Kabul. Ta-da! That was easy. I kind of think I have an idea of what I've got left because I can see the 3 books, but let's do this anyway. I haven't thought about it too much. So 99 is The Unlikely Pilgrimage of Harold Fry by Rachel Joyce. Love this book. And the next one is, now this is the escapee tag that didn't make it into the pot until sort of more towards the end. Would it have helped me with some of my terrible things? I don't know, it's upside down. That's 121. 121 is, it would have done. It's The Foundling by Georgette Heyer. I enjoy that story, I do. Not as much as some of the other ones, so. And the final one is number 11, which I'm double checking off here, but there's only 1 book left in my little piles, and that is, I say 1 book, it's actually 2, The Way of Kings, Part 1 and Part 2 by Brandon Sanderson. Okay. So, we're going to start off with the simple bit. I'm sorry, The Foundling. I'm sorry, Georgette Heyer, but we're going to burn The Foundling. Now, this is a really fun book. It's a historical, it's probably labelled historical romance, but it's very, very light on the romance. Like, usually Georgette Heyer books are historical romance, but like they're very, I suppose you'd say there's no sex involved in them. You know, the height of titillation is a kiss. But there is a lot of comedy of manners and kind of like it's not social commentary, but it's more like comedy of manners. Like, there's a lot of like humor in these, and it's just like great hanging out in like Regency period, enjoying all of that. The historical detail in these is phenomenal. It's really incredible, like what she kind of put into them. And this one is more of a coming of age story. I mean, from the cover, it's very much selling the historical romance. We have a girl in a dress. We have a man in a greatcoat. It's selling you the story. It's very misleading. If you're picking these up wanting a wonderful historical romance, you will not be getting it. This is a coming of age story. We are following Gilly, and he's called Gilly. Yeah. Short for Gilbert, I think he's short for Gilbert. Anyway, they call him Gilly. He's a duke, and he kind of wants to throw off his duke mantle where everyone is like doing everything for him and taking care of everything and has high expectations from him, and he just wants to kind of be a commoner and see if he can kind of make his own way in the world a little bit. And so he tries to, like, there's a problem in the family that he decides that he's going to just disappear and go and solve that problem and kind of live off his own means slightly. And it's so much fun watching his character grow. It's really humorous. You get a load of other characters kind of like thrown into the mix, and it is a really fun ride. But when you compare it to these wonderful books, I have to burn it. I'm really sorry, Foundling. I'm sorry, Foundling. You've got to hit the flames. Now, again, this is kind of a mixture of, I love these for very different reasons. Very different reasons. So The Pilgrimage of Harold Fry by Rachel Joyce is just, again, so beautifully written. The characterization, the emotional journey you go on, the way it all comes together is absolutely gorgeous. It's, you know, it's this again. It really is. So I loved it. It was so beautifully done. I really love Rachel Joyce as an author. I have read another of her books, The Music Shop, and I want to read a lot more of her work. I want to read all of her work. I really, really enjoy her writing. So this is beautiful and I love it. I don't know how you'd rewrite it, quite frankly. But I've recently reread this, and this is just high epic fantasy, slow burn, details, amazing payoff because you've spent so much time in the setup, and then the rest of the series and the plot and the characters and the magic and the world building is incredible. Incredible, and it's absolutely one of my favorite series. So it's kind of like, if I'm going for my little succinct, all pulled together, I see this as a strong contender. But when you look at the layers of, sorry, I'm just moving my legs around because I'm getting cramped from here. When you look at the layers of world building that goes on in this, and the point that Sanderson kind of knew this was going to be his main series that he was really passionate about, and he didn't want to write it until he felt he'd had more practice at writing so he can do it justice. And I really think you can tell, like, when you compare, I mean, I love Mistborn, I do, but when you compare like the first Mistborn book to this book, I just feel the writing is a lot more sophisticated. But like the pictures that it paints of this world, the complexities, the layering, and how you just absolutely trust that Sanderson is going to take you on this journey. Like, everything is considered, all the little side storylines, all things that might be relevant in the future, like the layers of lore and history and religion and things in this world is phenomenal. So I can't, many people would argue that maybe you could edit it, like you could rewrite it and like make it shorter. I don't feel I could rewrite this. Like, this is just, I wouldn't want to mess with it at all. I just wouldn't want to. So I think this has to be the reread, and this has to be the read write, because I can't put them in any other way. That is what it is. So we're rereading The Way of Kings. We are rewriting The Pilgrimage of Harold Fry, and we're burning the Foundling. And that was the last one. I did it. I survived. Yay! Oh, it was so painful. It was so painful. The way it fell out with all the different ones in the different groups. Oh, right. I feel like I need some sort of therapy after that. But I did have fun. I hope you had fun watching. I hope it was entertaining for you. And I hope I've managed to push some books on you as well that were excellent books. So I'm going to tag some people now to spread the joy. Usually when I do the tag videos, I like to point out who the creator is and say that this was the person who created this original tag. I've looked at several of these videos and I don't think anyone knows who started this. Does anyone know who started this? Who first came up with this idea? Because I want to credit them, but I don't know who they are. So whoever you are out there in the bookverse, in the booktube community, thank you for such a fun tag. I had the best time doing this, within reason. I have a great time watching these videos. So thank you very much. And I'm now going to tag a load of people. First of all, Tag, you are it. If you have watched this and want to do it, and like me, you just see it and you're like, that looks fun, let's do it. Do it. It is fun. I mean, I made it look very traumatic, but it is fun. And I think there are a lot of other people who get a little bit more salty with it. Like lots of people do like their Goodreads. I mean, hello, this is phone. See my hand here? Phone, obviously. They do their Goodreads, scrolling, we're now scrolling. They do their Goodreads or Storygraph and like have all the books that they've read on there, and like because it like numbers them, they'll then do that like out of, I don't know, some people do like 500 spin to see, I'm not sure. And yes, other people do it differently and they can get a bit more salty with it. I just did it with physical books off my bookshelves. Anyway, waffle away. I have a list of people I want to tag. First of all, I am going to shout out and tag the wonderful Chrissie from Chrissie's Purple Library. Or the Purple Library. I wrote it down. I've just written Purple Library. Chrissie, this is ridiculous. I'm so sorry. I am an absolute buffoon. I'm sure it's Chrissie's Purple Library. I'm sure that's what your channel is called. I did a video where I spoke about Chrissie, and it's an amazing video that she did, her TBR, the sketch of her personified TBR. She does a lot of amazing videos, but that one in particular. And I was like, and I want to talk about Chrissie, who has a channel, the name I can't remember. So I was like, I'm going to start with Chrissie and I'm going to tell you the name of her channel. And I'm still not doing it properly. Abysmal lack of research on my part. Terrible. I think it's Chrissie's Purple Library. The correct channel will be in the description box down below. Please go and look at her channel and give her lots of love because she is phenomenal and she should have so many more subscribers than what she does because she is incredible. Anyway, Chrissie, I would love to see your chaotic read, rewrite and burn, and I feel you will be the most entertaining. Yes, I will be entertained. I am entertained. I want to be entertained. I appreciate you and everything you do. So Chrissie, you're tagged. Okay. I would also like to tag Tiffany from Towering TBR. You read a huge amount of books, you read a huge amount of genres. I would love to see you deciding between all the different ones, which ones you would burn in flames. And I feel like you're really detailed when you talk through your books and things, so I'd love to hear all the reasons that you give different things and get a little bit salty maybe. I would also like to tag Courtney from Tangible Reads because she has all the opinions and will tell you all the opinions, and I love Courtney's way of looking for things. She's so looking at things. She's so real. She's so honest, and she's like, what you see is what you get with her. I have such a great time. Also, if you're free on a Tuesday, go and check out her sprints. It's an adorable community chatting on her sprints. I can't always join because it doesn't quite work time-wise for me. It's usually when I'm making dinner. But it's such a beautiful community on there. So if you need some sprints on a Tuesday, go find Courtney's channel, go and check her out and have some fun with her. But yes, Courtney, I want to hear your thoughts. Go on, give me all of your thoughts and feelings, burn some books. Let me know which ones are going to get the chop from you. I also want to tag the lovely Flossy. Flossy, again, if you feel like you are in a booktubery mood where you just want a homemade cookie, you want a homemade cookie and a hug and someone to tell you that, hi, everything is fine. What a wonderful time. I love you as a person and a human, which are two of the same things, so I don't know why I'm repeating them. I always get extra wordy in wrap-ups, I'm sorry. Wrap-ups of the end, not an actual wrap-up. Oh, the tangents. Flossy, back to Flossy, focus on Flossy. So Flossy at the Grape Jelly Library, she welcomes you into her home and her heart, and she is just like, you know, the mum everyone needs in their life. You know, you go on there, you feel looked after, and it's just like she gives you a hug. Flossy, I want you to pull some books off the shelves and tell me, I want you to sweat like me and tell me which ones you're going to have to burn. I think it would be amazing. And finally, I want to tag Holly from Lovely Day with Holly. Again, she's someone who reads extensively, has a really big book collection, and I feel that Holly will possibly find this a bit difficult too to choose between, or she's going to find it really easy and like give you all her thoughts on why some books are better than others. So Holly, I'd like to tag you too from Lovely Day with Holly. I don't know if I just said your channel name, but her channel name is Lovely Day with Holly. Right, that was mega waffly. Let's just round up. go in the description box, look at all the people that I've tagged, go and support their channels. They're all fantastic. They're all so different as well. That's what I love about BookTube, how everyone is so completely different and kind of you get different moods for different times. But they're all wonderful. They read a wonderful range of books. They talk about books, and that's what we love on BookTube. So go and support them and show them some love. I can't wait to see their videos whenever that happens. No pressure, but it is so much fun. I really hope you enjoy it. And we're going to stop there. Goodbye. Au revoir, mon amis. Sayonara, and happy reading, everyone.